Well, hello there, everybody. Oh, it's been a long time. Oh my god. It's been a very long time, hasn't it? Well, do I have news for you? BWA is coming. And it's coming very soon. Just wanted to answer some questions that some people had about the upcoming season, but I wanted to start from the top. Where did this all come from? What is this? What is BWA? So BWA is basically like the successor to a show that ran on the VGCW channel and on Boz's channel before that too. It's a successor of VGCW Arena, which was a fed that was run by me that had people from the community play each other. And it was pretty wild. The servers were still up back then, so people could download any type of wrestler they wanted, for the most part, and play each other. It was a really good way for people to connect within the community, talk to each other in the chat, etc., etc. Now, VGCW Arena evolved very, very much over time. It first, it didn't have plot for a long time. We had a few shows that just couldn't even run because quality servers by the folks at THQ and 2K now. But we had a good time. It was a good time while it lasted, and we closed up shop. And after that, I was given the opportunity to run BWA, which stands for Belmont Wrestling Alliance, if you didn't already know. So we had 2 seasons of BWA. Season 1 was pretty ridiculous. What we did was we had people who were a part of Arena pick cause that they wanted to see. Mind you, they couldn't play them anymore. It was AI versus AI now. And they basically fought it out in more of a, I guess you could say, traditional AI versus AI. It was a little bit unique because we just didn't have video game characters. We had video games, we had some original characters, Donut Steel, we had some anime characters, we had a little bit of everything. Comic books, we had that too. We're still gonna have that, I hope. We had a little bit of everyone. Men and women. We filled up the whole call list in WWE 2K14, 100 people. And some people at that time were like, "Oh, Belmont, how are you gonna do that? How do you? Oh, that's so many." And it wasn't easy. Season 1 was, I'd say, the smoother season. We just kind of had to book people as they would come up, keep track of when the last time they were booked, and if they kept winning, just keep on booking them. Because, that makes sense. But Season 2 was a little weird. Things were happening within the community at that time. Made it a little bit difficult to make the show. Some personal things were happening with me, so I couldn't keep continuing the show after Season 2 was over. But I would say, in general, people had a pretty good time with the show. So I quit the show after Season 2, and I've been gone for a while. I've been doing some college work. Been going pretty well, but things are going well, so I feel inclined to bring the show back. So moving right along, what are the details of Season 3? What is Season 3 going to be like? What's going to make it what's going to be the difference between Season 1 and 2, and Season 3? Well, I'm going to tell you. First of all, we're having voting. We are going to be voting for who the hell is going to make it in to Season 3. That's right, we're going to be cutting a lot of people. Some of them might even be your favorites. Tragic, I know. But that's okay, because you get to vote on them. In fact, some people in the community Discord have already done that. But now that as you're watching this, the people in the chat are going to be able to vote as well. And the people in the forums, because I will be putting the links there as well. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting up a few straw polls. I've already had them up for a while, but I'm going to put them up on the forum, have links to the forum page on Twitter, and I will link them in the chat during the next show as well, so people can have access to them. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be voting, on the first couple polls, you will be voting for your top 15 characters that you like the most in the show. They're split up a little bit. The straw poll doesn't let me, have that many selections in one poll, so I did have to split them up. But what's going to happen is it's going to be the top 15 from the polls, voted by you, and then 10 of my choice, men and women. So we'll have a total of 25 and 25. So we're going to basically cut the roster in half, and that'll make things a lot more manager for me. It'll make, you'll be able to see more people you like more often, and it's going to be great. Now, what else is coming in Season 3? So this time in Season 3, everything's going to be live. 100% matches are all live. I did record it for a while after I learned how to use Vegas, and that was pretty fun, not going to lie. Messing around in Sony Vegas is pretty sweet. Even if it's only for music and basic transitions, it's really fun to use. But that's not happening anymore. The matches will be all live, and the last time I did a live show was the King of Fighters tournament. We did a live King of the Ring, and let me tell you, there was so many squash matches. It was pretty great. Even though that happened, everyone seemed to have a lot of fun. So that's always good. But so what else is in Season 3? So we're gonna have plot makers like before. So that is the one production thing we will be having. Now the plot people aren't really set in stone. There are a few people that I've reached out to in the community that have made some fantastic plots in the past that are always really, really funny and can do stuff to make people laugh, because that is what the premise of this show really is. It's not really as serious. It has serious moments, as most wrestling shows do, but the primary focus will be on the rest, which is also why we're going to be changing the format of the show as well. Usually, in the shows that we run here on this channel, well, on the VGCW channel, I should say, it usually goes match and then a plot, and then a match and then a plot. Well, not anymore. On BWA Season 3, we're going to have 2 matches to every plot instead. Sometimes we're going to plot in the opening, sometimes we won't. But that'll increase it'll decrease the amount of plot per show, so that there are more matches happening, there's more action. So we're going to be mixing things up quite a bit. In terms of titles, we're basically going into what some people have called the New Game Plus. So we're basically starting over. So no one's going to be the champion. Everyone you thought was the champion isn't going to be the champion anymore, and we're going to have to find some new title holders. Now, since a lot of the people are being cut, we're going to have to find some new teams. We're going to find some new contenders, all that. We're going to see who's really the best out of everyone people's voted for, and out of the people that I've put in too. So it's going to be interesting to see who's really, really good in this league. So yeah, so we've got 100% live matches. We got plot coming back. Oh, another thing about plot. I have been reading what people have been saying on the forum and what have you, and we are going to tone down the references for sure. Most of the references in a lot of Season 1 and Season 2 were from just community mingling, I should say, and some stuff from Arena as well. But it wasn't too much from Arena, I don't think. But we're going to keep the references to BWA Season 1 and Season 2, since most of the people will be from those anyways. So we're going to keep into that. We are going to stay in 14 for one season. Well, 2K14. We're going to stay in 2K14 for a season. I promised Doom and Naughty that they can have first dibs on 17 when they get to that point. And then right after that, if we can get the cause set up and some things taken care of in 17, then we will definitely make the jump for sure. So if you guys want to do that, you are more than welcome assist in that regard. And maybe, when we make the switch, maybe we'll cut some people then and try to get some more new people in as well to freshen things up. Let's see, what else in Season 3? Well, as always, we'll have new music. I've been gathering music for quite a while now, since we stopped last season. And I got some new tracks, so that's going to be sweet. Oh, there is going to be one thing that is going to be a little different in Season 3, and that's we're going to have fan-voted matches. That's right. Fan-voted. Live voting, in fact. Usually in a disc change, nothing really happens, but now what I'm going to be doing is I found out that I can use straw polls in the chat itself. So what I will do is I'm going to create a straw poll for a certain list of characters to be voted for the match, and a list of match types. Now, once those characters and match types have been chosen, they won't be able to be chosen again for the fan vote for a little bit, so we don't want to have, repeat the same match type being voted over and over again and all that. So we're going to have that so you guys can be a little bit more involved in that process, because before, the booking was done by a lot of the community who were in Arena. It was a ton of people, and not everyone was vocal, but plenty of people did have a say in what they wanted to happen, and a lot of those things did come to fruition. But this time it's going to be a little bit more streamlined, but I didn't want to take away that aspect of it. And I have been watching other streams and kind of getting ideas and brainstorming and all that. So, yes, we will have fan voting matches. I think what I'm going to do is when the disc change happens, we'll have the fan voted match right after that, so I can just have time to set it up and get it going and all that. So I think that'll be great. Let's see, anything else on any differences? I'm pretty sure I covered everything. If I forgot anything, I will mention it. Let's just move on then. So when is the first episode? So this is it's a little bit of interesting take on moving into Season 3. So the next episode we're going to have is in a few weeks. I'm going to tell you the date very soon. So what I'm doing essentially is I've had this plan for ages. But this next show is going to be kind of like a prologue of sorts. It's going to be called BWA Annual. Now, I've had this show planned in the mix for a long time, and I was going to do it regardless if I was doing Season 3 or not. So we're going to have an episode called BWA Annual, and it's basically going to be, you're going to be able to see some people maybe you forgot about, maybe you want to see them in Season 3 and you haven't voted yet. So we're going to have some people on there that you haven't seen in a while, so you can kind of refresh your memory, remember who people were, etc. So we're going to have that BWA Annual. So that's going to be the name of the show. A lot of the plots and all that stuff has been taken care of for that. In fact, I'm only waiting on a couple as of right now. So that is underway and is almost finished. In fact, since we are doing live matches, I won't have to spend the time to record them and put music to them. So it saves me a lot of time and saves the show process a lot of time too. In terms of booking the show in general, outside of just me, I'm going to be having Commander Vid, who's a part of this community, who's going to help me do regular booking decisions and all that. So me and him are going to be tackling that stuff. And I'm going to, also take hits from you guys as well to see if, what you guys are feeling about certain matches or certain feuds and all that stuff, because all that stuff's just going to be generated by the game. Like I don't really care for coming up with feuds outside of what we're getting. So we're gonna just go by whatever we get out of the matches and just kind of figure stuff out from there, depending on who wins, who loses, etc. So yes, I do want to go back to the plot makers thing. I know a couple of people know characters I know a couple of people know characters better than others in terms of what they would say and whatnot. So I encourage anybody who has more knowledge on certain characters to guide the plot makers in their process to please just put it out there. Let people know hey, this character's like this, they have this type of personality or whatever, just to make things easier for them so they can, whoever decides to make the plot uh, for that character can have an easier time. And you can get in touch with them for if you end up coming on the Discord, which I'll put the link uh, during the BWA annual episode. I will put the link in the chat so more people can have access to it, because I do want people to come in and chill out in the server and talk about whatever they want. So with that, the date of the BWA annual episode is actually April 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I was going to do it on the 16th, but it was Easter and I do have plans that evening, so I won't be able to do it. So we're going to do it April 23rd at 6. That's right. That is a Sunday night, the usual BWA time. The show will probably be around like 2.5 hours probably. The fact that we have less plot means we can fit in maybe like a match or two more on a per show basis, just to kind of get things moving, keep things going, and get ideas processing for the next season. Now, the whoever wins or loses or whatever in the annual episode doesn't really matter too much. It's more just like hey, we're in the process of coming back and all that. And we'll probably have our first season 3 episode around I want to say either May 7th or May 14th, just to get some extra time to prep for season 3 materials. Like, still need to do an intro. I need to figure that out, and I do need to figure out what type of credits I want to do for the show as well. And there you have it. That ends the BWA Questionarium. If you guys have any more questions, hit me up on Discord or the forum or Twitter. My Twitter handle is actually, I will put it at the top here, right there at Modern Belmont. Reach out to me if you have anything you'd like to ask me or anything like that. I'm usually around some way or another. Even while I'm at work, I can get your messages and stuff. So if you want to chat or you have a suggestion, just hit me up. All right, and that'll do it. So I will see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.